Hello, welcome back. This is Miniature Mike. I'm going to do a quick squad building video for y'all. I'm going to capture one squad with some of the Black Sun figures I did before. I actually didn't do a video for those guys, it's just busy. And then I'm going to do a couple Yoda videos, and then we'll see what happens after that. So first up, here's a squad I made about a week ago, which combines Yoda and putting together him with Black Sun figures. So it's called 200 Human Grenadier for hire. So the whole point of this squad basically is to leverage the fact that you can get Human Blaster for hire. They're very cheap. They could do grenades 20, and they could do it twice with Captain Tarples. And then what I have Yoda for is Yoda is there essentially, and then also Masamata, but Yoda is there to make it so that people can re-roll saves more than once. I'm anticipating a lot of friendly fire because, you know, if the whole thing's about throwing grenades like crazy and you have a bunch of cheap characters, I want them to be able to still use their powers even if, you know, allies are nearby, but the allies can have a better chance to reroll and survive. And plus there's so many characters too. So all in all, there's 14 Human Blaster for hires. All of them can do grenades 20 twice, which is great value. The survivability's not there, that's totally fine, but there's so many characters, I think it just kind of doesn't matter. So you have Yoda for one, who's going to be just kind of there to help be your melee character. He's going to be able to do commander effect stuff by giving the reroll save. And then he can also allow people to, you know, potentially, just like stay alive a little bit longer. And then you have Prince Caesar, who's going to basically give... you're not going to worry about the first part of his commander effect, but the second part of his commander effect, giving grenades 10, is going to be key because then Human Blaster for hire has Black Sun, which makes that grenades 20. So that's what they're there for. And then Tarples is there obviously to do grenades twice. And that's pretty much it. Just a couple of Ugonaut Demolitionists to blow doors up. But otherwise, the whole entire squad just revolves around lots of just insane amounts of grenade throwing, which is a lot of fun. So I think this is a way to make grenades pretty sweet, especially since it comes from a very cheap character. And yeah, got plenty of weaknesses for sure around there, but I do like the quantity of characters, and it's a very, like, definitely has to be kind of a close range thing, so you gotta rush with all the characters you can to make it more effective. But anyway, that's the first one, Human Grenadier for hire. The next one I want to do is Yoda's Rangers. So this one uses Grandmaster Yoda, and I wanted to really take advantage of Grandmaster Yoda's commander effect, doing the +3/+3. So I figured who'd that go well with? I was looking at a few different options, but then I thought it would be fun to do the Antarian Ranger, because the Antarian Ranger, as you can see here, they're already pretty good. Like, they cost 12, great stats, they have stealth, which is awesome, and then the affinity for being with allies with force ratings gets them +4/+4. So since this is synergy, this is different than the commander effect, and so these two things would stack, and so therefore essentially Yoda, this would come out to being +7/+7. So they go up to being 22 defense, 14 attack. That's really good in terms of staying alive, and then in cover that goes up even more. So the fun part with those guys is, and then Queen Amidala, she's there to make them cheaper and give them mobile attack, since they only need mobile, they don't need greater mobile. And then they'd be able to kind of hit and run, come in, come out, shoot, really accurately, be able to be very helpful for Grandmaster Yoda. And then Grandmaster Yoda on his own is kind of a one-man band anyways, can do a lot of stuff, great force powers, great defensive force powers, great offensive potential as well. So that's kind of what's going on with all these guys. Like I mentioned, Queen Amidala is nice because she makes a lot of people cheaper. So you have R7, just going to be there for doors and such. Just going to be, I'm not going to use young Ugnaughts in this case. We'll use the R7 Astromech droid. And then lastly, I threw a couple younglings in here, mostly because they're cheap, but the other reason is if Yoda's like not around, I want the synergy to still work on the Antarian Rangers, so that wherever they're hanging out, a youngling can maybe be nearby to continue to give them that huge synergy bonus. And so that's kind of what we're looking at here. So gonna be, I wish these guys hit a little harder, maybe more damage and stuff, but I just figured with this case, they'll be accurate at least. Hard to hit and run, and they're going to be able to support Yoda super well. So I think this is going to be kind of a fun one to leverage Yoda's commander effect and really have it kind of put the cherry on top of somebody that already needs force users. So the last one I'm going to do, and this one is a little weird, really wacky squad, but I thought it'd be a fun way to take advantage of Yoda of Dagobah and do some other crazy things. So I'll guide you through how this works. So you have Han Solo Scoundrel, Yoda of Dagobah, Anakin Skywalker Force Spirit, General Dodonna, and then R2-D2 with Extended Sensor. So this is what I'm going to try. This is kind of my logic on this one. Is I want R2-D2 with Extended Sensor. He has Recon, and I want him to be able to re-roll Recon, which might not be all that necessary, but I thought it'd be kind of fun. I thought of doing Admiral Akbar instead, but Admiral Akbar's commander effect would then help Han Solo Scoundrel just have a better attack. Anyways, I decided to go this route instead. Maybe I'll switch it up later at a different time. That's another option. But here, I'd use Anakin Force Spirit. So Yoda would do Light Tutor on R2-D2 because it's before the skirmish, so then he would have a Force rating. And the Anakin Skywalker Force Spirit would then give Renewal 1 and Metal to R2-D2 with Extended Sensor so that he would be able to have a bunch of Force points. He could re-roll Metal a lot. He would have be able to just you'd be able to really kind of win initiative with this situation. And then in extension, Han Solo Scoundrel, he can use Yoda's Force points galore, so he basically has Force renewal almost. And then he can also take advantage of getting Metal from the commander effect that Anakin Skywalker gives. So then Scoundrel, he's also going to be able to use Evade more effectively. He's also going to be able to, if he misses an attack, he can reroll at +4. That's really good. And so they're both going to basically be able to benefit from it. And then Yoda of Dagobah is also going to be there for this, support, lots of force powers. And then General Dodonna is there for tempo control. And then the Felucians are there as basically just kind of a really powerful grunt, because they can also benefit from having Metal, which will be great for parry. And then they can also benefit from being able to use Force Blast multiple times, which is super nice. Just 20 damage, 50-50 chance, really, really helpful. So I think these guys are going to benefit greatly from having it as well. And then Mouse Droids are going to be there to help spread those commander effects out. So really goofy, like super, super goofy. I think if maybe I do it again, maybe I'll get rid of R2. Like if R2-D2 with Extended Sensor, just it doesn't really make sense to give him that much force points for re-rolling of Recon. That's fine. Maybe Akbar could be fun to give the +4 attack bonus to Scoundrel. I don't know. Anyways, this is kind of my goofy squad that I put together. Thought it'd be interesting. I'm pretty sure you can do Anakin Skywalker Force Spirit and Yoda of Dagobah simultaneously. You can give the Force rating and then give Renewal and Metal with Light Spirit. Maybe not, but I didn't really find anything in the rules that said anything about it, so we'll see. I don't know. We will see. So that's kind of where it stands. So anyways, I like this squad. I think it's kind of fun because the survivability's there. You can control tempo. You can control initiative. And then you have some really, really effective Force users that get a lot of help, which is going to be a lot of fun. Maybe the squad could do more damage. That is for sure. But, if they're not going to do damage, at least they'll stay alive longer. So maybe that's the trade-off. Anyways, I think this could be actually a really fun squad if I remove Scoundrel and just kind of focus more on having lots of Felucians with Metal and then also with Yoda of Dagobah to give out the Force. That could be really, really fun. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll explore that in the future. We'll see. But anyways, until then, I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. I'd love to hear your comments. I'll leave links to these specific squads so you can go and check them out later if you want in the description. So definitely take a look. Look down in the description. Take a look. Please like. Please subscribe. And definitely comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these squads. And then, yeah, we'd love to hear, did I mess up on the mechanics of this working out? Or is it just too silly? We'll see. Anyways, until next time, have a good one.